Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Laura of Laura Plans It, and today I'm doing something pretty different from what I normally do. I know a lot of people have been kind of tossed into the homeschooling life very quickly with very little time to prepare, mentally, physically, or otherwise. So today I'm going to walk through a number of different options that you can use to plan your homeschooling week with things that I assume at least one of these things you have in your home. If you are one of my followers, you've already subscribed, you're probably a planner. So I have a lot of Erin Condren products here. I've got my MakseLife Planner here. I've got a Simplified Daily Planner here. I'm gonna walk through everything that I own and show you how you can turn that into a homeschool planner for your week. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I will kind of stop and explain as I'm going along, but basically I'm gonna show you very quickly how you can set up a day or a week in each one of these planners. I'll probably just do one day in each one just to give you an idea, but I'm gonna try to do it fast because I think we all have a limited amount of time. In the description below, I will also put timestamps for each one of these items that I'm using. So if you have something specific, like if you have the Erin Condren binder with, I have daily inserts and I have vertical inserts for this. So if you have the daily inserts, that'll be at a specific time. If you have the vertical inserts, that'll be at a specific time. You can jump ahead to where you need to be to go ahead and watch the part you need to watch. If you have multiple planners, you don't know which one you want to use, I really hope that you watch the whole thing. And as you're watching, you might find different tips for different things that you can apply to whatever planner it is you have. Y'all, I even have a happy planner here. That is my level of commitment to you guys today. So I'm gonna get started and I will come back as often as I need to kind of walk you through what I've done. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to walk you through is the homeschool planner. If you have one of these, which I know some people use these as a weekly planner, and other people who have in school, like children who go to public schools, actually keep these to kind of keep up with them anyway. So I think a lot of people might actually already have this. If you do, there are two ways that you can use this for homeschooling. We have not been using ours the past couple of weeks just due to therapies and life constraints, but I'm going to show you some examples of how we use it. So that's a terrible example. Let's go over to January where I have an actual decent example. Here is how I set it up based on child. So my son is on this side, my daughter's on this side. Anything extra that needs to get done goes over here. We have language arts, history, and science broken down for my son based on the tasks that he would need to get done in each category there. Same for my daughter. She's got math, phonics, her Brain Quest workbook, and she does some handwriting on the iPad. Then I have their specials. So we have Little Passports, which is a geography subscription. We do art on occasion, and then I let them do computers on different days. These are broken up by day, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so it's more of a horizontal layout. We only do work on Monday through Thursday. On this particular day, we were out of town, so that's why that Thursday is empty. But you can see I have check boxes for what needs to get done. It's broken down by child, by subject. You can break it down by child, so depending on how many tasks they have, and I'm gonna go ahead and go to last week because I don't need it. You can put child number 1 right here, so this could be Jake, and this is gonna be really sloppy, y'all. I'm just trying to help you out as fast as I can. This could be Lily, and I could put down that he has, math, grammar, phonics, spelling, history, and science. And then I can check them off as he gets them done. For Lily, I can do the same thing, okay? We can keep it really quick, really simple. So you can do that. Another option that you have, and I'll just go to this side of the book then, is you can do it by subject for each child. So if each child has math, each child has spelling or language arts, and then each child has, we'll say geography. I think a lot of schools do geography or social studies, that kind of thing. Let's say that's what you've got going on. Then what you can do is color code. Now I color code with my check boxes. So you can do, I'm just gonna grab a couple mild liners here. Let's say you've got one kid who's gonna be yellow. So there's their check boxes. Maybe this kid's got 3 things going on here, 4, and then blue, okay? So you can color code based on that. So it could be, and then you can write down what the assignment is. So it might be lesson 3A, lesson video 9 and lesson 9A or something like that. And you can write it out so that you know which kid has what to do. And then you can put down too, if you want to make a little key, you know, that can be Lily. And then blue could be Jake. You can again use colorful pens if that is easier for you to use. I don't care for colorful pens. I always find that I only have a black pen when I need my colorful pens. So I tend to not do that. So there's a really quick way that you can use a homeschooling planner if you have one. Okay, option 2. If you do not have a homeschool planner, but you have any of the other planners going on, I'm gonna walk you through all those now. These are just regular daily, weekly planners that you can get. This is the Erin Condren Petite Daily Planner. I have mine set up, and I use this one, so I'm not gonna do too much to kind of mess with it. So here's today, it's the 16th. If you guys are new to homeschooling, today's probably your first day. I put in a checklist for what needs to get done. I put in my son's checklist first and then my daughter's separate. She goes to preschool and so typically is not homeschooled with us often. I've written in what needs to get done for them and I check it off as it goes. I will continue to do the same thing throughout the week as I set up the planner. So for example, I'm gonna go ahead and color code this one for you, similar to what I did in the homeschool planner. So let me grab my pen here. So for Jake, we have phonics, grammar, math, and spelling every day right now. So phonics, grammar, math, and spelling. Lily has her Brain Quest workbook. She does phonics or reading. And she does math. And those she does with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays when she's not in preschool anyways. But I don't typically put them in my Petite Daily. But this is just to show you an example. So for Lily, I will do purple, that's her favorite color, and I'm just gonna highlight the check boxes here, which goes along great with the way that I set up my Petite anyway, so that's good for me. So here's phonics, grammar, math, and spelling for Jake. So you can see that I've got it broken down by kid, and as they complete their items, I can check them off. So that's how I would set up the Petite Daily. You can also, and unfortunately I don't have the room to do this right now, and I apologize in advance if you can hear my kids in the background making this video while they're home, which is unusual. So you can set this up, and I'm not gonna do this because I actually do use this Petite and I do not have a backup Petite. You can use the morning, afternoon, and evening blocks to divide it up per child, and you can color code with check boxes. If you're just doing 3 subjects, you can do your 3 subjects. You can use the hourly tape if you have the productivity tape, or if you just want to write in the hours, and you can break down what your day is going to be like, which I will show you in the daily binder sheets that I have and in the Simplified Daily Planner that I have. Okay, the next setup that I have is the Simplified Daily Planner, and I actually made a full video of this, and I will be sharing that later this week on how I'm setting this up right now for my son. This is the Academic Simplified. I had purchased it last year and then decided to use the Petite Daily simply because this is just too heavy for me to be carrying around. But here's what we have set up for this week. I have their tasks written down here, and I have what time our school starts and it ends when tasks are done. We are task-based at the moment due to Jake's therapies, so that is how I have this currently set up. I'm gonna flip back to the beginning of March here, just to kind of show you a different approach to this. You can time block per child, so again, I'm gonna use blue for my son and purple for my daughter. Let's say that 9 o'clock is when Jake starts school, 9, 10, and 11, I'm gonna work with him, and then probably 1, 2, and 3 for her. You can do something like that, and you can write their tasks in there. You can highlight which each kid has to do and write their tasks in as well. And let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and write over these in just a second. I'm just kind of going quick so I can show you what I mean. So let's say, like I said, you've got multiple kids, you're trying to time block, so you can write Jake, school, Lily, school, however you want to do it. That's another way to time block. You can write that she's got her Brain Quest workbook, and he's got math, and she's got reading and math, and he'll have spelling, phonics, and grammar, and so on. And again, you know, your school's going to send you home with whatever they send you home with, so you're going to have to make this work for you. That's just a different example of how you can set it up. You can do something even more detailed on your hourly. You can say, all right, 9 a.m. is going to be math. Maybe 9:30 is going to be spelling. 10 o'clock is going to be phonics and grammar. If I can spell it right. And again, and so on. And clearly I will write, when I do this and I set it up for my son, you can see that I write this very clearly because I do actually set this out on a tray for him to see it. I have a little acrylic stand I got off of Amazon so that he can read it and check it off as we go. So this is one of the ways that we do things. This particular setup is for one child. The ways that I just showed you before, you can use for 2 or more. Okay, so here is a happy planner. This is an undated happy planner that a friend of mine, Tanya, got for me. And honestly, I haven't used it yet. I had a purpose for it and I haven't used it for that purpose. But here you go. Here's a planner. It's broken down just like a vertical planner for Erin Condren. This is the big size planner. So it's a little different, I think, but same idea. Let's say that, and I'm gonna ruin this first month, but whatever. Okay, so let's say that you have, you can break it down by child. So this box, actually here's what we're gonna do for this one. This box here can be Jake. This one can be Lily. And then I'm gonna use yellow just because my favorite marker's in the other room for my bullet journaling. There we go. That can be me and things that I need to do. And then you can go ahead and you can write things in. So math, grammar, phonics, spelling, and then for Lily it would be her Brain Quest book, math, phonics, which is also reading work. But again, you can set that up, you can check them off plain, you can use the mild liners to give you checks. I assume most people have a pen. Sorry, that is definitely the wrong color, but whatever. I assume most of you guys have pens and or highlighters that you can use for this. If you don't have a highlighter, but you like check boxes, draw one in. It's okay, it does not have to be perfect. We're all just trying to make this work. So that is definitely one way you can do it. You can also break it down by morning, afternoon, and evening. So if in the morning you wanna do, let's say you're gonna do 9 to 9:15 is spelling, and then you're gonna do 9:15 to 9:30 as language arts, and then 9:30 to 10 is math, and then let's say 10 to 10:30 would be recess, 10:30 to 11, maybe, I don't know, geography, and then you can have lunch. So set that up however you want, break it down however you want, but this is how I would set this up for our kids. So this is the big happy planner. I believe this one's a memory planner, so if you guys are memory planners and you want to save this memory, this is a quick and easy way to do it. So that's how I would set that up. I would continue throughout the week. And of course, if you're a homeschooling family, which I think we all are now, you can also do Saturday and Sundays if you want to break up your work a little bit more. You don't have to subject yourself to a school schedule. Doing school at home is different than doing school in a building with other kids around. You're gonna find some things are really easy for your kids and they blaze through it. Other things are gonna be really difficult. Take a deep breath, take your time, write everything down so you at least know you're getting it done. All right, my MakseLife is a horizontal planner, and let me make sure I've got a week that I did not record in here, just to be safe. Okay, here's a week that I did not use in my MakseLife. I would set this up very similar to how I've seen a few of the people using this just as a personal planner. So I would let me grab a ruler here. You do not need a ruler, but I need a ruler. So I would just divide these up and make extra boxes of some kind here, maybe doing something like that. These are obviously not even remotely even. And then again, grabbing out the mild liners, and maybe I would do my daughter's tasks here, my son's tasks here. All right, Lily, Jake, me, and kind of track it that way if I wanted to. You could do, again, same thing, you could do morning, afternoon, and evening if you want. You can just simply start writing in the things that need to get done. So math, phonics, grammar, spelling. And then come over here and do brain quest, phonics. And what else does she do? Math. So again, you can put that in there. Now, if your child is being sent home with very specific work, maybe computer work or something like that, you can write in the exact specific thing that they need to do. You can be as detailed as your page allows you to fit. That is definitely something you can consider as well. I would recommend writing down just what you need to do here. Get yourself a piece of paper or make a spreadsheet, something like that, a much more comprehensive checklist for each day if you personally need that to know what assignment needs to get done. But this is how I set up my planners anyways, and I do keep a more comprehensive list on my computer that I print out each week to go along with the actual planner itself. Okay, so another planner that we use in our house that you might have sitting around is an academic planner. I have two academic planners. I have one for my son and one for my daughter. So this is how we actually typically homeschool. And this is how we set up our homeschool planner. Each child has one. Their assignments are detailed, written down here so that they can check them off as the week goes. And as you can see, it continues on, right? They check it off when it's done, and they know exactly what they need to get done. So this is great, especially for if you have an older student who can do most of their work independently. It tells them exactly what they need to do. You just need to check and make sure it's getting done. We also have done let me see if I can find a much more modified page of this as well. We don't set it up every single week, but here you go. This is a much more modified version. Sorry, we were on a road trip that week, but you can see it's just math, grammar, phonics, spelling, history. Math tells you which one, and spelling tells you which one because those are independent. Everything else is work with mommy. So we have that set up as well. So if you have an academic and you don't need your child to know in detail what they're doing in that subject, you can just write the subject down and do a checkbox with it. Okay, if you have an hourly planner, this is how we set up the hourly planner for my son. We just write in the times that he has to do things. Obviously, right now we've got nothing going on. So if you were in this week, let me flip open. Here's another example of what he's done. He set this one up all by himself. You can see he's got, school, lunch, rehearsal, that kind of stuff put in here for a couple weeks ago. So let's say we're on this week here, okay? And I'm actually gonna use last week as an example. You can very easily go over here. You can write at 9 a.m. math, 10 is gonna be language arts, 11 is going to be, let's say 11 is gonna be history, 12 is lunch. And again, you can break that down any which way you want. If you prefer to do some kind of block scheduling, which is definitely an option as well, and something that I do quite a bit, you can say that 9 to 10 is going to be, let's go ahead and just mark that off as well. This is going to be our language arts block, okay? Then we'll have lunch at 11, and then from 12 to 2, we'll say is going to be history or science, right? So just kind of break it up however you want to do this. And again, if you need to go more detailed, you can. I find with my son in particular, it's easier not to. So let's say this is going to be all language arts and math. And down here is going to be history and science. Or you can, like I said, you can go even less detailed, which is what my son does, and we just write homeschool, and we draw until homeschool is done for the day, which is typically at about noon. So those are 3 ways that you can set up the planner there. If you don't want it to be broken down by hourly, but this just happens to be the planner that you have, your next option would then be whiteout. So let's say 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm just gonna white out a few of them here, and you can use mild liner right over the top as a checkbox here. And sorry, I just hate it when that happens. Of course, I'm gonna get my fingerprints everywhere, but there we go. So you can do math, history. I'm basically making a checklist, right? Grammar, phonics, spelling, reading, part or something. Okay, so you can go ahead and make a checklist. I would recommend if you're doing this, maybe you white out all of the numbers. That's definitely an option as well. So these are just some examples of how you can use an hourly to get you through. If you'd like to be more detailed about this, obviously I'm using, I'm writing this as if my son's going to be checking this off himself. Let's say that you're going to do this for you. Well, you can just do same thing. You can use whiteout and a highlighter, and you could do math 16A and B, math video. Then you can come down here and say grammar 106 plus worksheet. You can do history chapter 31 part 3 color and map. Okay, so like again, you can go ahead and write more detailed in there as well. I would not recommend having it as an hourly layout. Again, I would say white out and make it a checkbox of some kind, whether you're using a highlighter or just drawing in your checkboxes here, whatever it is that is most convenient for you. But if you're getting that detailed into it, I promise you a math video plus a worksheet is not going to take you a full hour. At least it doesn't for us. I guess it depends on what your school's sending home, but these are definitely some options that you can do as well using the hourly planner. Okay, one planner that I have that I almost never use is my Erin Condren binder. I didn't end up needing it, so I don't use it much. And this is the perfect example of why I should be using it. So you can see I have the daily inserts here. I also have vertical. I'm going to start with the daily inserts. You can do this very similar to how I have the simplified daily set up. You can write in that school starts here, and you can draw your line to whenever you're going to end school for the day. You can write in things like lunch or 15-minute recess. However you are breaking down your day, should you choose to break it down hourly. And then again, over here in the to-do section, you can do as detailed or as simple as you want. You can write math, you can do phonics, or if you'd like it to be more detailed, you could do history, chapter 32, part 3, coloring, page plus map. And then you can say science, lab, video, worksheet. Okay, spelling, words, whatever words you have. Let's say if you're doing sight words at school, we don't do sight words, but you can write them in so they can practice their words. Whatever it is that you want to write in there. So you can go as detailed like this if you want, or you can do as really high level as you want. That's up to you. Again, you can put in what your times are here. You can use this as a checklist if that's easier. Just go ahead and white these out and just write in on top of them. You can use this for notes for anything that might be going on that day that you need to remember. For example, one of the things that I know is coming up, I just found this morning, is Mo Williams. I don't know if it's Williams or Willems. I think it's Williams. Doodles. And at 1 p.m. every day, he's doing a Facebook Live to doodle. So that's actually in a few minutes here, so I'm probably gonna stop and go do that with my kids, but this is something that you can put in the schedule. There's a lot of things that are going on right now that you can do for free online that are streaming. I will link that in my Facebook page. I'm gonna put it right here. This is how you get to my Facebook page. My Facebook page will also be linked in the description below, which it typically isn't because I'm not typically very active there, but I don't have swipe up on Instagram, so Facebook is the easiest way for me to share all those links without cluttering the feed. So this is one of the ways that you can easily use the daily planner. Again, just like I showed you with the hourly and with the simplified, there are other ways to do it. If you want to time block, you can time block. So let me go ahead and take this out. It is a binder. I can be a little bit more flexible like that. So let's say instead you want to do more of a time block. You can do, let's say my daughter is going to be these hours. This is not straight, y'all, I'm sorry. And then my son is going to be these hours for school. You can time block it that way, or you can do something that's more like, you know what, for these hours here, I'm going to be working with my son, and no, I would never actually work at 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, but maybe for 3, 5, and 6, I'm with my daughter. These are kind of things. This is more breaking it down for you, right? So let's say they've got independent work, but you're going to be doing one-on-one time with them. You can break it down this way. So that's another example, okay? Now, let's say that you have the vertical inserts for this. Now I'm grabbing some old vertical inserts, guys. This is from August because like I said, I bought this and I thought I was gonna use it and then I didn't. just for other reasons. So I'm gonna move this off to the side. Let's say you're gonna use vertical inserts, okay? I would use these the same as how I use the teacher planner, with the exception of, obviously there's not 5 horizontal rows, there's 7 vertical rows. So I would do this as this section up here being Jake, this one being Lily, this one being like to do. Especially if you are taking your own planner and need to be doing this in your own actual planner, you're still gonna need space for your own things, right? So I like to color code when necessary, so I would probably highlight my son's boxes so that I know that these are all him. Or again, you can use, you know, colorful pens. I tend not to do that. I have colorful pens, I just tend not to use them. I did a colorful spread recently and I still want black pens, so it just drives me crazy. So here we go. And again, super not clean or smart or like neat, guys. I'm just trying to show you how to do this. And you can do check boxes if you've got, again, if you've got the productivity tape. I know it's the wrong color. I'm just doing some check boxes really fast. If you want it to look prettier, I would definitely Google search some bullet journal ways of doing bullets, right? So this is one of my fun ways of doing it. You could do that, and then of course writing out the assignments that they have. And if you'd prefer to break it up more of a morning, afternoon, or evening, then I would say, you know, you can write down, you can either highlight and say, all right, well, Jake's gonna be doing these 2 things, then in the afternoon he's gonna do these 2 things, and in the evening he'll do that 1 thing. And then my daughter, she only really does 3 things, so we'll do 1 line for morning, 1 line for afternoon, and 1 line for evening. Okay, and then you write down, well, what are they doing? So maybe math and phonics. Maybe she's, let's see, he'll do grammar. Okay, so my last video stopped in the middle of vertical inserts. So as I was doing that, I was basically breaking it down by subject, morning, afternoon, and evening. So you can do morning, afternoon, and evening as an option as well. And this still gives you the option to put anything that you need to get done down in the bottom here as well. Again, this is just, let's get you started, right? The final thing that I would recommend if you have nothing else to use is a notebook or a piece of paper. This is a dot grid notebook. You don't have to use dot grid. You can use, like I said, a blank piece of paper. You can use lined paper, whatever it is that works best for you. But I had dot grid sitting here and I thought that I would share a quick setup in my dot grid. So you can see, again, I used the mild liner. I've broken it down by, well, I have 2 children here. I put me and my mom and dad just because I don't have any other children, so I didn't think of any names off the top of my head. But let's say you've got 4 kids or you've got 3 kids plus something that you guys all want to do. Whatever it is you want to break it down, or however you want to break it down, you can. So I've got this broken down here by child. I've got his assignments written in here. And then, for example, for history here, we have multiple assignments. So what I would probably have done different than what I actually have written here is I would have indented all of these in slightly, so 1 thing over, but reading, coloring, narrations, maps, all of that written in here as well. And just set it up for the day. If you want to go ahead and set up an entire week, you can. You don't have to write the assignments right away. But this is a quick and easy way to at least have an idea of what you're supposed to be doing this day. And what's great about this particular layout and some of the other more checklist style layouts, like the daily planners, is that you can actually write in other tasks as well. So for example, my daughter who does her Brain Quest workbook, she does phonics, and she does math. She also needs to remember to brush her teeth, so AM teeth. And she has to pick up her room for 15 minutes each day. So if you've got extra space, you can add it in. So especially since, like I said, we only have 2 kids, so I only need this, I can continue on down here. And the neater that you write this and the cleaner that you make this, obviously the easier it is to share with your children. If you'd like to break this down by time frames, you can definitely do that. And a quick and easy way to do something like that would be, instead of doing the bullet journals there, let's say, and I'm just gonna do 1 kid really fast right here. Let's say that we're gonna do, let's see, Lily, and we'll say 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10, 10, I do this every time, 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11, lunch. Okay, it'd be nicer if I spelled it right. There we go, lunch. And then you could do maybe 12 to 12:30. Breaking it down by half hours I think is easier for kids. I am not an educator. I don't have a degree in education, so I could be wrong. 30 to 1, 1 to 1:30, 1:30 to 2, and then 2 to 2:30, and I would probably end it at that. And you can write in here, let's say we're gonna do, math, language, arts, reading, and geography. Then we have lunch, and then we'll go to her Brain Quest workbook. And we'll do phonics. Then we'll have recess. Then we'll do art. And then maybe we'll end it up with some more reading to end the day. So that's an example of how you could do a quick hourly schedule. And what you can do too is, let's say you've got the 2 kids, you can do, the second kid on this side. You don't have to write the hours again. You can just write what they're gonna be doing. You can put the hours in the middle here and then write what their subject is on each side. However you need to customize it so that you guys understand who's doing what and when. That is how I would do that. Okay, so those are all my different suggestions for how you can quickly and easily put together a plan for your homeschooling, whether you do one day at a time, a week at a time, or even if your school has given you a daily or weekly plan for your child, you can easily write it down in a way that makes sense to you or makes sense to your child if they need to follow along. This is not going to be something that's super easy for everybody, and I understand that. And I'm hoping that these suggestions are helpful to you in one way or another. I do apologize again for such a rushed video with such rushed handwriting. The goal of this was not to show you beautiful spreads that take a lot of time. The goal here was to show you quick and easy things that you can do to get a handle on this new life that you're kind of, baptism by fire, right? We're just throwing you into the deep end and hoping for the best here. If there's anything that you need help with, you don't understand, that you've got questions on, if you're not sure what to do now that you're, homeschooling your child, even though you maybe didn't want to, leave a comment below, ask your questions. If you are a homeschool parent already or a teacher and you have suggestions or answers to those questions, I really would love and I encourage you to be part of the conversation below and help answer anything or share any suggestions you have. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm on my Facebook channel, which I'm going to link in the description below. I don't typically use my Facebook page at all, but I will be sharing as many resources and links as I can find on Facebook. And if you're not already following me on Facebook, I would love if you would come join me there. And if you have resources that you'd like shared, please feel free to send me a message with those resources or try to post. I don't even know if I have posting set up for other people on my page because, again, I don't use Facebook much. But if you can share them in any way, or if you can, follow my page, send me a message with the resource, I will make sure to tag you if possible, or at least let people know that you're the one who shared it with me. The goal is to be able to help everybody who's going to need help right now. I know this is really difficult for a lot of people. I've spent all morning arguing with my son as to why he can't have play dates with every child that's not in school right now. So we're all adjusting to this new, hopefully temporary normal. And I want to be here for you as much as I can. So again, if you've got questions, please leave your questions here. Head on over to Facebook, leave a question there. I'm going to do whatever I can to answer them or help you find the answers that you might need. In the meantime, if this video was helpful, I hope that you'll hit that like button. If you'd like to see more in-depth videos and plan with me, I'm going to try to do some more detailed ones over the week. I hope that you'll subscribe, and if you tap the bell, you'll be notified when all the new videos come out. And of course, for behind the scenes, sneak peeks, what I'm working on right now, you can head on over to my Instagram @LauraPlansIt. I'll also be trying to share some resources there as well. Thanks so much for watching.